So I'm on my way home right now. And I want to tell a story that happened to me. I was helping out a buddy of mine, right? We were in public and we were carrying some shit. And there's this guy, right? This guy, he ends up seeing us and he helps us out a little bit. You know, he helps us carry some of the stuff, which is like really nice of him, you know, and I appreciated that. He ended up telling us some stories about himself, right? Which I don't know how many of them were true, but if there's one thing I'm pretty sure is not true, he ended up telling us he does Muay Thai. Now, I don't really believe that he does Muay Thai because of the way that he was speaking. Or maybe, you know, maybe he took a few classes here and there. Maybe he did it for like a month or two, maybe even 3, right? Maybe he was like a hobbyist who like didn't take it that seriously, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you know? It's totally fine. It's totally cool. He ends up telling us that he did Muay Thai. And one of the other stories he ended up telling us was that he was a firefighter in New York City. Again, not sure if it's true. Really have no idea. I lean towards it not being true, but he did prove some of the shit he told us, just not any of that stuff. This guy is talking about Muay Thai, right? He has no idea that I do Muay Thai. He has no idea I've done it for as long as I have. He has no idea that I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, right? No clue. Because I didn't end up telling him anything about that, and I'm going to explain why in a little bit. That's kind of the moral of this story. He ends up telling us that when he was a firefighter, he ended up having to choke some dude out. Apparently he was high on PCP, right? And he had to choke the dude out in order to restrain him so that they could actually help him out. He told me that he hit him with a head and arm triangle, right? He didn't even know the name of it. He just said, oh, I choked him with his own arm. He was like this. So that's basically a head and arm triangle, right? That's one of the few ways that you can choke somebody like that, at least to my knowledge, you know? He tells a story, right? And then he starts talking about how, like, great of a fighter he is and this, that, the other thing, right? Now, again, I'm just letting him go. He has no idea. He doesn't know who I am. He has no idea who I am. Do you know who I am? He has no idea, like, what I do, though, right? Because I didn't tell him. And again, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But he ends up talking all about how, oh, it's all about technique. It's not about strength. It's not about size. This, that, the other thing. Which, yeah, you know, I don't necessarily disagree. I don't 100% agree, but I don't disagree either because he is right in a way. You know, I'm going to see if I can fix this. There we go. He ends up saying all this, right? Now, this dude is probably like 5'9", 5'10", right? Significantly shorter than me. And he told me he weighed about 180 pounds. He ends up sitting there and he goes, yeah, it's not about size, it's not about strength. You know, someone like me, like I'll be honest with you, man. He points to me and he's like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I could handle you. I could handle you. He wasn't saying it in a way that was supposed to be like shit talk, right? He wasn't trying to be like, bro, you get fucking handled, bro. He wasn't saying it like that, right? And because of that, I didn't feel a need to say anything to him. Even if he was trying to talk shit, I would have just been like, you know what, this guy ain't worth my time. Like, I got shit to do. I got more shit to carry, right? I'm trying to help my boy out right now. And I would have just been like, you know, whatever, let's go, right? But he wasn't talking smack, so I just let him keep going. Basically, that's it. He just kind of sits there. He walks away. We say thanks. He's like, hey, no problem, guys. Hey, right? Now, why am I telling you this story, right? It's because for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you're probably acutely aware of the fact that I do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, that I'm pretty good at it. I won't call myself great. I won't say that I'm, like, amazing or anything like that, you know? I consider myself to be all right, you know? But this guy is sitting here showing his hand to me, first off, telling me things that aren't even true about himself, trying to gas up how, like, much of a badass he is and this, that, the other thing. And he has no idea that he's saying that he could handle a dude that would have twisted him into a pretzel and fucking stuffed him in a trash can. You know? The moral of this story, right? The reason why I'm coming to you with this is that you really should not show your hand like that. I didn't tell that guy I do MMA. I didn't tell that guy that I'm, like, high up in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know, the rankings anyway. I didn't tell that guy that I'm a Muay Thai instructor. It's not even just that I do Muay Thai. It's that I teach other people, and I'm really good at teaching. I'm probably better at teaching than I am as, like, a fighter, if I'm being 100% honest. I didn't tell him this, because why would I want him to know that? Here's the thing about the world today, right? Here's the thing about the world we live in. People want to fight with their fists up until they start losing the fight. Then all of a sudden, that's when the guns come out. That's when the knives come out. That's when the everything comes out. Why would I want that guy to know right away that if he was going to have to fight me, he would want to grab a weapon of some kind? I would not want to show my hand to that guy. I would not, right? And for this reason, I never tell anybody that I do MMA, all right? It's my little secret, all right? It's our secret, all right? Don't tell anybody. I don't tell people, though. And the reason I don't tell people is because, like, I don't want people to assume that, like, oh, if I want to beat this guy up, I'm going to have to, like, grab a bat or something, you know? We don't live in a high-trust society. We definitely don't live in a society that values honor anymore. So nobody's going to want to fight with their hands. Everybody's going to think, oh, like, why would I just get my ass beat when I could swing for this guy's knees with a metal baseball bat? Or some other shit like that, right? It's not about honor. It's not about sticking up for yourself in a way that, like, doesn't bring shame to you or your family or, like, your whatever. It's not about that, and it hasn't been for a very long time, right? So because of this, there's really no reason for you to be sitting here telling people that you do MMA. And furthermore, right, people really are not that interested. I'll be honest with you. I had to learn these lessons the hard way, right? Specifically the grabbing weapons thing. And maybe I'll tell that story another time, but not today. You know, that is really for another time. That's a long story. Years ago, I would tell people, yeah, I do Muay Thai, I do Jiu-Jitsu, you know, I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah, that's what I do. That's me. And you know what people would do? They would go, oh, that's really cool. All right, anyway, back to whatever I want to talk about, right? People are not interested in you. People are not interested in what you do. And just because you think Muay Thai, just because you think Jiu-Jitsu is really cool, doesn't mean that everybody else is going to agree with you to any degree, right? In fact, I've said this before about Jiu-Jitsu guys. Like, Jiu-Jitsu guys think they're the shit, when in reality, like, they dress up in, like, fancy pajamas, and they roll around with other men. And, like, this is coming from a guy who really, really likes Jiu-Jitsu. And again, it has spent a lot of time doing Jiu-Jitsu, right? That's how the general public looks at you. Even if they have some semblance of admiration or reverence for what you do, or even just you as a result of what you do, they're not going to be sitting there like, oh man, oh, this dude, wow, he's an MMA fighter, wow, like, I should totally never mess with that guy. No, like, if anything, it can sometimes put a target on your back, because you're going to end up with people who they want to feel tough. And as soon as these people find out they're not the toughest people in the room, the gears start turning in their head, and they start trying to find ways where they can feel tough, where they can feel just as tough as, or even more tough than you. And that was an issue that I had with an old group of friends that I made just after high school. There was one dude in particular, right? And I don't think he was a bad dude. I just think that he had some issues, you know, as we all did at that time. You know, I can't sit here and pretend like I'm better than that dude. But, like, he was always trying to dig at me every time we would hang out, which was basically every day. You know, it was kind of me and like 3-4 other dudes that would always hang out every day. And he was always trying to dig at me. He was always trying to remind me that, like, he wasn't afraid of me and, like, this, that, the other thing. And it got so bad that at one point I was like, yo, dude, you want to fight? And, of course, he didn't. He didn't want to fight. But he tried to front like he was, like, not afraid. He was like, I'm not afraid of you, dude. I'm not afraid of you. Like, he didn't end up saying, yeah, let's go fight. He just said, I'm not afraid of you. Which, like, all right, well, if you're not afraid of me, you would have fought me. And I don't condone that kind of behavior, by the way. What I should have done is I should have just, like, stopped hanging out with that dude. There was absolutely no reason for me to keep hanging out with that dude. I should not have been chilling with him, you know, in the first place, right? But especially after, like, all that bullshit. The moral of the story, just to recap, right? Never show people your hand, because you never know who you're talking to. You might be talking to somebody who actually does Muay Thai. You might be talking to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. And if they're not as chill as I am, if they're not as willing to just, like, let things fall off their back, you know, like a turtle with water, If they're not as quick to do that as I am, then they're going to call you out on that, and all of a sudden you're going to have to prove it to them. And who knows, like, if I was a psycho and that dude said that to me, oh, I could handle you, bro. I could handle you. If I was a psycho and that dude said that to me, I probably would have flipped the fuck out, and I would have went crazy on him. You never know who you're talking to. You never know what their temperament is. You never know what kind of experience they have. You never know. And in addition to that, before I end this, I will say, like, one of the benefits of him not saying anything to me, right, is if I had no idea he did a little bit of Muay Thai, just a little bit, right? And he and I got into an argument, we got into like a fist fight or something like that, right? There's a much greater chance that he could have caught me with something that I did not expect. Because I'm sitting here thinking, oh, this is where my 10 years of Muay Thai and the boxing that I've done since I was like a really young kid is going to pay off. This is where it's finally going to pay off. You know, here's the street fight. All right, here it is. We're going to do it. We're doing it. It's happening. Then out of nowhere, I get caught with an overhand. Or like he hits me with a leg kick that I didn't expect and I fall over and then he pounces on me, right? Or like, you know, he knocks me the fuck out. Or like some other random thing that I didn't think he was going to be able to do because I just assumed, oh yeah, this guy probably doesn't do MMA. This guy probably has no idea what Muay Thai is. Or maybe he knows it from watching the UFC. You know, Joe Rogan used the word, so he's going to go ahead and he's going to use that word to try and impress people too. It's just a bad idea to be showing your hand like that because you never know who you're going to be talking to. And in addition to that, like I said, people don't fight fair today. They're not concerned with what is honorable, what is good, what is bad. People don't want to take an L, right? If they take an L, they're immediately trying to get it back, and not just get it back equally. They're not trying to even the score. They're trying to get one up on you because that's what it's all about. It's not about them. It's not about them like being respected on a level equal with anybody. It's about them trying to be better than everybody around them. They want to be the best. We the best. You know, that's what they want to be. That's how they view things, right?